The Unnamed Horde, or what to call AI creators. I'd like to begin with a rather trite observation. In human endeavour, the role played generally precedes the name given it. The deed is done before the title is awarded. Only after the fact, when the shape and form of the thing is agreed upon, do we name it with any degree of certainty. Novelty is nebulous, unnamed and unknown. Orville Wright was not called a pilot before he flew and landed the Wright Flyer so long ago. At that time, pilot was the title of a man who guided a ship into an unfamiliar harbour. What Wright did was so novel that the old name of aeronaut, sky sailor, simply did not fit. Men had to borrow a recently coined foreign word to describe the new thing he had become. Aviator, one who flies as the birds. The achievement came before the name. It was only later that the humble word pilot became attached by custom and usage to a man who embodied the eternal human dream of flight. Pilot, from the medieval Greek word pedotes, meaning steersman of a ship, has an older equivalent in classical Greek, kubernetes. The latter word we moderns have appropriated to talk about advanced electronic systems, particularly ones where human will and machine capability are closely integrated. Cybernetics. Hold on to that thought. As with the Wright brothers, we are currently living in an age of technology-driven creative ferment. Theirs was a time of mechanical marvels, ours an age of digital dreams. The seemingly perpetual advance of computers has lately handed to ordinary people a far-reaching advancement in visual storytelling, on par with the invention of computer-generated imagery, or perhaps only comparable to the development of cinema itself. Too soon to tell. Novelty is nebulous. The Promethean gift of generative AI has led, almost incidentally to its primary scientific and managerial purposes, to a nascent creative movement. And yes, despite the claims of its detractors, it is creative. It does nothing, goes nowhere without human direction. People are bringing into existence from little more than their imaginations and complex patterns of electrons, wholly original music and never-before-seen visual tales. They do this by a process called prompting, using carefully worded incantations to nudge the great dreaming machines of generative AI in particular desirable directions. Human will, directing machine capability to achieve something neither could alone, a wholly new, wholly cybernetic skill. This scientific restatement of old tales about wizards and their wish-granting genies summoning up dreamscapes is so without precedent that the practitioners as yet lack any formal name. So what do we even call such people? Prompters? Prompting, the word implies nudging or goading another entity into action, but also alludes to the sheer unprecedented speed with which creators of AI imagery work. New content produced promptly. But it hardly seems fitting to refer to these magicians of audiovisual fantasia with a name used to describe some understudy reminding an actor of a forgotten line. That does the work and ingenuity involved absolutely no justice. Director has been suggested. Prompting is currently pursued. The sole creator or small team working on an exclusive and personal vision encompasses the competencies of an entire film crew. The roles of scriptwriter, casting agent, costumier, set dresser, director of photography, editor and more, all combined into one skill set, often held within a single brain. The word director, with all its gaudy, egotistical Hollywood connotations, also seems barely adequate. Sloptometrist, perhaps, a term coined by animator and AI music video creator Sky Freeman, aka Skybrows, and a sobriquet that many in the field have already adopted as a badge of honour and defiant identity. The name is both playful and self-deprecating. The allusions to slopper, low-quality, forgettable content, and to optometry, the valuable medicine of the eyes, should be readily apparent. There is whimsy in the name, but precious little grandeur for such a remarkable role. And then there is artist, the one who makes. Go look up the etymology of the word if you doubt me. More pertinently, anyone who makes within a creative discipline, one that combines imagination and skill to delight and surprise. Pen to paper, brush to paint, stylus to clay or tablet, hand to keyboard or to mouse. An artist has long been understood as whosoever brings into the world a thing that communicates emotion and meaning through the work of hand and mind and tool. But dubbing these freebooters on a new creative sea by a name so replete with status and cultural cachet as artist gravely displeases those whose creative medium is more established, traditional, settled, circumscribed. Curious to speak thus of digital art and 3D rendering. The I got mine, up yours, commercially comfortable of the artistic world, and the commission's always open posers and wannabes who orbit them strongly dislike this dilution of their guild status. Oh no, they cry, we have served our time, paid our dues, kissed all the right arses, licked all the right boots, but now the uninvited barbarians are within the gate. Those people are nothing but upstarts playing with the shiny new gadget. What they do, that's not real, it's stolen, it's unregulated, undisciplined, dangerous, polluting. Soulless, indecorous digital graffiti without worth or merit. Unwanted weeds in the already perfect garden. Or, looked at another way, AI creations are the overlooked, uninvited wildflowers growing in the cracks. A whole small world of mimesis, masquerade, homage, subtle or broad allusions to things shared and loved, impassioned, urgent, sometimes naif, but profoundly personal and deeply humane, limited only by imagination and vision, not by convention or the opinions of a taste-making elite. Art that is free in every sense of the word. Punk art. And like it or not, what the new wave of creators do is art. Yes, it meets all the necessary criteria. Generative AI creations are transformative original content, the production of which takes planning, knowledge, effort, investment, sheer hard grind. The works inspire aesthetic, emotional, and intellectual response, as does any creative stimulus, and it certainly provokes controversy, discussion, debate, and acrimony. Want to argue about that one? Let's call up the shade of Marcel Duchamp to adjudicate. AI art. Human and advanced computing tool creating something new together. The will and discernment of one directing the swiftness and might of the other. Yonder lies a laughing, riotous, unapologetic, creative Mongol horde. Do you dare bar your crumbling gates and fail to treat with them fairly? They are your outside context problem, the one that renders all previous squabbles utterly irrelevant, and we don't even have a name for them. The novelty is nebulous, unknown and unnamed. I invite you, ye who deem yourselves so wise, dare to examine the new thing, understand it, grok it in fullness, and then think of a new and fitting name. Until then, merely extend basic respect. Those innovators who make the dreaming machines sing and paint and put on their puppet shows, call them by a name we already have, a name that any but a fool already knows they are. Artists. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that.